Hey everybody, thank you for joining the Assault Forward podcast. This is Joe, one of the co-founders, and this is episode 4 of the Assault Forward podcast. For those of you who may be new to us, we are a 100% veteran-owned and operated small business operating on our website, assaultforward.us. We offer 100% made in America products. We started with the reverse American flag lapel pin, which is the way we wore the flag on our uniforms in combat, and then expanded from there into other lapel pin designs, cufflinks, tie clips, soft goods such as socks, t-shirts, the hats we sell, coffee mugs, stickers, magnets, and everything else. So check out our website when you get a chance, assaultforward.us. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 4. Wanted to start this week's episode with a little bit of good news coming out of the 82nd Airborne Division. If you guys remember back in January, after our Commander-in-Chief launched the missile attack that took out the leader in Iran, the tensions got pretty hot pretty fast. We didn't know exactly what retaliatory measures Iran might take, what additional actions the president might take. Things were getting a little crazy. And so it rarely happens, but as part of that, the Rapid Deployment Division, which was at that time, there was a brigade from the 82nd Airborne Division that had that mission. They were spun up and sent over to Kuwait on like no notice, which there's always at least a brigade, ready for that rapid deployment mission. I've been on it a few times when I was on active duty, and you have your stuff ready. You're on a very short string, and if you get recalled, you're launched. And we would do it as an exercise to make sure that everybody had accountability and that everybody knew where all the troops were, but never had to do it as a unscheduled deployment like that. So these 82nd Airborne Division troopers, paratroopers, they were shipped off with like zero notice. So off to Kuwait they went to be in the region, basically in case anything popped off, which was pretty, nobody knew it could have happened at that time. So it looks like they spent a little over a month there and waited until things settled down. So in total it was about 3,000 of them that went over, and the first 800 got back to Fort Bragg, North Carolina yesterday, Thursday of this week. So very happy and joyous reunions, I'm sure, for all those families and the kids of the soldiers that were able to be reunited with their loved ones. For those of us that did 12, 15, 18-month deployments during the height of Iraq and Afghanistan, 30 days doesn't sound too bad. But anytime you get deployed, especially when you don't have any notice that it's coming, that's a lot. That's a big deal. Totally understand the commitment and burden it places on the families that are back home to keep things running and keep the trains on time while you're deployed, and then getting over to Kuwait with zero notice, just not sure what they were going to be involved with. So they deployed after within 18 hours of getting that notification, and then they were gone for a month. So good to hear that those the All-Americans from the 82nd Airborne Division Rapid Deployment Brigade are back home, and imagine the rest of those troops will trickle back in here in the next few days. So that was that was good news. And just for historical reference, the last time that the Rapid Deployment Brigade actually launched was over 10 years ago, when they went to Haiti following the devastating earthquake that happened there. So that was more of a humanitarian response mission, but still it just shows you that it was a decade since the last time that brigade, the Rapid Deployment Brigade that's always on duty, was launched. So interesting story there out of Fort Bragg. And again, the paratroopers are back. So that's good news there. So what's going on with Assault Forward this week? Exciting opportunities for us to share with you guys. Coming up next week, we will celebrate the 2-year anniversary of our website. So it feels like we've been doing this forever, but we recognize that we're really just getting started and that this is a whole brand new thing for us. So as 3 Army veterans, we got out of the Army, we got civilian jobs, we used our GI Bills to go back to school and get that education, and then decided to start this company, as you heard in the last episode 3, basically to satisfy a personal passion of wanting to share the story of our service when we were in the professional work environment. And we thought that the lapel pin with the reverse American flag on it, like we wore on our shoulder sleeve in combat. Subdued in color would be that conversation starter. We had a chance to attend an event this week in DC, down in Roslyn, that was hosted by 4 nonprofit military organizations, and we talked to a couple hundred veterans that were there, and so many of them told us that they loved wearing our pin because it always did start that conversation. It's such an attention getter. What does it mean when it's facing that way? People say, I know it's not backwards, but tell me what it means. And it gives them a chance to say, oh, well, I was in the military, and when I was in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force, that's the way we wore the flag on our uniform, and it allows them to start that conversation. So it was great to hear that positive feedback from our customers and supporters about what the flag means to them and how they're using it in their daily lives to start conversations about their time in the military. So that was good to hear. So going back to our launch, that's what we started with, and we've added products from there. For those that are interested in kind of the behind the scenes part of the entrepreneurial journey, my co-founders, Shah and Josh, we each chipped in $500 out of our pockets to start the company, to create that first batch of pins, to launch the website, to register that domain, to get the basic stuff started, shipping, basic supplies, things like that. And then we've reinvested every dollar from every order back into the company to add additional products, to streamline our services, to improve our turnaround time on orders, to promote our business on social media, build email campaigns out, and really try to do our best to share what we're trying to do as a company with more people. We're really proud that we chose to make everything 100% in America. So that has a certain premium associated with it, but it's one that we're absolutely willing to pay to keep domestic manufacturing, to keep those jobs here in the US, and to turn things around quickly for people, because there's no 30, 45, 60 day shipping from China. We make it here, we ship it to you from here. We're based right outside Washington, D.C. in suburban Maryland, but we're in D.C. and Northern Virginia all the time, so we're right in that central D.C., Northern Virginia, Maryland area. Go to a lot of events, meet with a lot of military folks, and are proud to do all that here domestically in the U.S. For us, it was a no-brainer. If you're selling something with the American flag on it, you got to make it in America. And especially if you're veterans that have served in uniform, you understand how meaningful that flag is, the symbolism behind it, and what so many have sacrificed in order to do that. So that's the story of how we started, really. And you can go back to episode 3 to learn a little bit more about that. I had a conversation with my co-founder, Shah Chowdhury, who is a field artilleryman as well in the military, and served over in Germany and then was deployed to Iraq as well. So listen to my conversation with him a little bit about how we got started. But so 2 years has gone by pretty fast. We've grown significantly. We've added, I think we're up to like 30 products on our website now. So we have the forward-facing subdued pin. We have the full color red, white, and blue pin. We added the thin blue line and thin red line pins in support of our first responders and law enforcement. We added the socks, hats, and t-shirts for all the folks that told us, hey, I love what you guys are doing. I love that it's made in America, it's better known, but I don't really wear a suit and tie to work, so the cufflinks don't really do it for me. What do you got for me? So we added all those products that have been a lot of fun to have, and really worked hard to expand and continue to grow our followings on social media. So that's how you connect with customers these days and reach your audience. So we absolutely are very active on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, posting YouTube videos and things like that. So trying to get our name out there. We think it's a big deal to us. We work really hard. We've got thousands of orders now and satisfied customers, but we still recognize that nobody knows who we are, that we're just getting started, and that it's really important for us to continue to work really hard to take every opportunity to talk about our company, talk about our mission of empowering veterans to share the story of their service, which enables us to fulfill our Give Back mission, which is donating pins to transitioning veterans and military organizations that support those transitioning veterans and military spouses. So we're proud that we're able to, give back to our community. And as I mentioned earlier, we've reinvested every dollar that we've made in sales back into the company. So we're not taking any money out of this company. We're not making anything off of it yet personally. It's just, for us, it is a passion play. It is all about supporting veterans and helping our community share the story of their service. There's so many worthwhile veteran causes. It's near and dear to our heart, the 22 veterans a day that commit suicide. We hear personal stories related to that. We've each known veterans that have taken their own lives, which is somehow harder to accept than the soldiers we served with that died in combat. Unfortunately, I've been through that on all my deployments, and it sucks. It's hard. But somehow, if you die in combat, it's a different feeling than hearing that somebody you served with took their own life after their time in uniform. That whatever they experienced, the trauma, the PTSD, they were not able to connect with the resources that are abundantly available to help them or try to get them to work through those issues, and that they tragically took their own life. That's really hard to hear. So we're very, very aware of that, and think that a small piece of what we do helps veterans open up about their time in uniform and can get them talking and connecting them with the right resources. So we're passionate to support all those causes. Veteran homelessness that's a terrible situation, that no veteran should be on the street involuntarily, because they can't find, again, those resources or the support network they need to have a warm bed and a hot meal, and clean clothes, and the basic necessities in life. So we're very, very tuned into that, and many other veteran causes. So what we're doing with Assault Forward, we think is good for America. We think that patriotism and promoting awareness of the military and veterans and patriotic Americans is a good thing, and that making our products in America is good. So the more of these lapel pins that we can put out into the world, we think are a good thing. So more people wearing the American flag on their uniform in the military, and then once they get out and can wear it in their civilian attire, whether it's on the sleeve of a t-shirt or on the lapel of a suit jacket, however they choose to share the story of their service or promote their love of country, we think that's a great thing. So we're proud of what we're doing, and we're really grateful for all of you, everyone listening, everyone that goes to the website, everybody that follows us on social media. Obviously, this is something that has to be bigger than veterans. There's 12 million veterans in America of the working age, I guess, and then 20 million total. And so that is a small percentage of America that has served in uniform. And for any veteran-owned business to be successful, you have to expand far beyond that. And we need patriotic Americans to come on board and join our community and support their fellow veterans. Met a inspiring retired sergeant major this week, and his quote was, "I can't spend thank you for your service." So it's really important to him to promote veteran-owned businesses and encourage Americans to support them, not out of charity, but because they're quality products. And I'm working on like a blog post, or maybe I'll do it in the next podcast episode, but you can get anything you need from a veteran-owned company. Obviously, there's coffee companies out there that are killing it. There are apparel companies that are killing it. There are things for military spouses. There are local services. So it doesn't have to just be products or e-commerce. It can be local service-based companies that do anything from home improvement to realtors to anything you can think of. There's a veteran in your space that can fulfill your needs, and that is a great way to support veterans, is to hire them, work with them, and support their post-military careers. So that's our thoughts on that. So in closing today, I want to share a good news story we came across this week, which was the story of a 105-year-old World War II veteran celebrating her birthday. So out of Lubbock, Texas, Catherine Royalty, she celebrated her 105th birthday this week, and she's a Navy veteran for all of our Navy supporters out there. So Catherine celebrated her 105th birthday. She separated from the Navy in 1946 after the war ended, and became a teacher, and she retired from being a teacher in 1977. So she has got some longevity, and certainly along with her community and friends and family, we wish her a very happy 105th birthday. And I loved her quote at the end of the article. She said she had lots of visitors and lots of gifts, and now I want sleep. And certainly as a tired veteran and tired active duty military, we all understand the work hard, play hard, and then get some racks. So our thoughts out to her on that. So we thought that was great. So good story there. Just a reminder, you can always find us online at www.assaultforward.us and on all social media at AssaultFWD. AssaultFWD is our handle on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, and more. And as a special thank you guys for listening, please don't forget to use the discount code AFPodcast, and that will take 15% off any order on our website. No exclusions, no minimum purchases. Check it out. We have a very fair flat rate, $3.99 shipping on all orders, or free shipping on orders above $65. And you can take 15% off all of that with the discount code AFPodcast, which you can enter at checkout. So be sure to subscribe and share this podcast with your fellow veterans and patriotic Americans. We appreciate you tuning in and spending part of your day with us, whether it's in the drive, on a run, or just hanging around the house. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we look forward to speaking with you on another episode soon. So until then, keep up the assault forward.